Hey Jill, come on in.
Hi
This
there.
is my new house that we're living in now. Was my parents' house. So come on in and I'll show you around.
Okay, I can't wait to see all the changes.
Here we have right at the very entry a quilt that my mother made. My mom did a series of monthly quilts. This is the February quilt. And of course it's all about love.
And then we're entering the living room.
Yep, this is our living room. I have a Hummel collection that is handed down from my mother and my mother-in-law. And then my mom made this. This is all ribbon applique.
Beautiful.
And it was completed in 1998. As you can see, Catherine F. Tennyson.
Very nice.
And it's all ribbon, very fine ribbon.
Get close so you can see. Beautiful. If anyone's interested in doing that, I have a book. I think it's at the town hall that I have ribbon and stuff. And we have beautiful lampshades.
Yes, we do. I actually made this one as a birthday present for my husband. My cousin's wife makes these, and the name of her business is Living Lights. And she makes them and teaches classes at the folk school in Luzerne?
Yeah.
Luzerne.
Could we ever get her as a
I'm sure we could.
teacher for
I'm sure we
a
could.
guild workshop? That would be
Yep,
fun.
I'm sure we could, yes. They're a lot of fun to make. We also have a beautiful stone fireplace in this house that was built by my uncle. My parents built this house in 1967, and I grew up here. So it's kind of like coming home.
Cool.
But when my dad died last June, and unfortunately my mom had to go to the nursing home, we were able to move in here, and our son and his fiance have moved into our old house. So when we moved down here, though, I didn't want my husband to feel like he was moving into his parents, his in-laws' house. So we really renovated and changed things around, but we kept the things that are really meaningful. So of course we have this beautiful fireplace.
Couple little quilts up there.
Yep, couple little quilts for display, and my husband's desk here with some things that came from his mother. So everything in the house really has meaning to us.
Very nice.
So
It's a pretty desk unit.
over here, we have a couple of quilts on the new love seat, and unfortunately the reason for these quilts on the love seat is that the cat scratches the love seat, but does not seem to scratch the quilts.
We've got the Be My Valentine pillow.
Yes, this is another one of my mother's monthly projects. So of course this is February, so we have the Be My Valentine theme.
Up here we have
This is a anniversary present that my mother gave to us, and it shows, you know, Catherine Tennyson, that's me, wed Raymond Smith. Unfortunately, when she inked this in, she got the date wrong. We were actually married in 1983.
Oh.
But what were you going to do?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? But it is a beautiful project, so we enjoy it.
And what happens at Grandma's never happens.
That's correct. And this corner cupboard was here in the house. We had the interior painted to match the walls. And then, of course, we have some quilts displayed in here. And I'll take a couple of them out to show you folks. Let's see, this one here is a particular favorite. I kind of like to have this quilt out in the summertime. It's a summery light quilt, basket quilt.
Pretty.
With the prairie points.
Yep, I like it. Very pretty.
Which I think is quite nice.
Yeah. And your mom made that.
My mother finished it. It's an antique top, and my mother hand quilted.
Oh, then we need to get closer.
So yeah, so you can see the hand quilting here.
Quilting, yep. Beautiful. Get back down. There we go. There, now we can see it. Okay. We're getting, there's a lot of bright light coming from the window.
Gotcha.
That's
And then we do have another antique quilt here. This is from my collection. And I purchased this as it is, and it is very raggedy. But isn't it soft and just pretty? I love antique old quilts.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just got an old cotton bed in it.
Mm-hmm. I was cutting your head off, sorry. My photography skills are, not as nice as yours, perhaps.
So I love that old quilt.
Another lamp with leaves.
We do have, this one actually Teresa made. Teresa Brewer is the name of the artist. And so we have some that she made and some that I made, actually, throughout the house.
Okay. I like the pine cones, too, on top.
Yes, she has several different varieties of finials. Those are called
finials. Okay.
Finials. And she has some that are pieces of wood, some that are pieces of metal. My cousin Paul is a very accomplished artist as well, and he is a stonemason by trade, but he is truly a craftsman. And we seem to have this artsy thing in the family.
Yes, you do.
As many of you know. As many of you know. Paul is my cousin. Our common uncle, my mother's brother, Gene Flackbarth, is the one that built this house.
Oh,
and
okay.
he was a master craftsman. He could do anything with a piece of wood. And so we had some things throughout that he built. And of course, you all know my Uncle Bob Flackbarth by the tour that we did of his house. Mm-hmm. So there are things in this house I'll point out to you that my Uncle Bob did too.
Okay, cool.
So we're all very artsy-fartsy in our family.
Artsy.
So over here is my Baltimore album, and I'm quite proud of it. It is a project that took years in the making, and eventually I got it finished. There are several different blocks that I'm particularly proud of. This is the first block that I ever made, and with all these leaves and all of these little tiny pieces, I fondly call this block That Damned Peacock.
I love this one with the little rosebuds in them.
Yep, this one with all the little rosebuds. I like this one because it's dainty.
We've got the bleeding hearts.
The bleeding hearts, I like that one also because it's dainty. And then this one in particular is one I'm very proud of. This was a very difficult block, but I really love how it came out. Each one of these have been woven together, as you can see.
Wow.
And hand stitched down. Every single bit of this is hand stitched at about a 1/16 of an inch applique stitch.
Amazing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
And then this is reverse applique. Each one of these are individual little tiny pieces. So I'm pretty proud of that block.
You should be.
So
Of every block. They're all gorgeous.
we have
She's got a beautiful cabinet here with old
china closet
old
here.
china and
Yep. This is my china pattern from my wedding. And so I have a full set of these dishes, which I'll show you in a moment.
Yeah.
We also have up here, we have a full set of these, one for every year that we have been married.
Wow.
But we really don't have a spot to display them in this house. So what we chose to do is put up 5 plates that were of particular significance to us. And one is the year we were married, 1983.
I'm going to get closer so that the light again behind from the window
Okay.
is, there we go. That's pretty.
So 1983, 1987, the year Katie was born, 89, the year our son Raymond was born.
It's not showing up good because of the lighting.
That's okay.
That's okay.
And then, of course, the first 2 grandchildren
Oh, okay.
that have been born.
And you can see the birds flitting about
Yes.
outside at the bird feeder.
Out in the back is our swimming pool up on the hill there. So
It's a beautiful piece of property.
And then these are our plates in a plate rail that we got from a family member.
So pretty with the gold rim glistening
Yes.
in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Buttermilk Hill Specialty Lumber.
And then in here is our kitchen.
Here's the kitchen. that goes into a beautiful, well-lit, windowed sunroom. And this is a 2-sink kitchen. She's got the sink, and then she's got a little bar sink over here.
Yes.
Which is
Up
handy.
here we have, if you want to swing around here, I have also some family memento type things. This was my grandmother's, Katie Flackbarth. She was a nurse. And these things here were hers as well. So my mother had them. And then my other grandmother had these 2 pieces, so I kind of combined them. This is my grandma's cupboard.
Grandma's cupboard.
And they were actually the best of friends. They were
cool.
in the Rebeccas together.
Oh, nice.
Which is a fraternal organization that is associated with the Oddfellows. The reason I'm telling you that is that the Rebeccas and Oddfellows had a deep connection in the Baltimore album quilt history.
Oh, wow.
And so when my mother first started making Baltimore album quilts, she discovered this Rebecca connection.
Oh, nice.
In the tradition of making the Baltimore album quilts. Baltimore album quilts, as I think many of you know, were made only for a very few short years, about 10 years, in the years just before the Civil War.
Oh, okay.
And they were made in Baltimore specifically, and then they sort of filtered out from there. It was a well-to-do woman's pastime because they were the only women that had the time to really sit down and stitch that kind of quality work. And they were the ship captains' wives and other merchants' wives, and they had the access to the high-end goods coming into the Baltimore harbor. It was a area where all of the fabric came in from England.
Oh, cool.
So
you are a wealth of historical information, as well as all the stuff in your house is so historical. It's
so
awesome.
That's the reason that the Rebecca connection is important in our family.
That's fabulous.
Yes. So over here we have a couple of other lamp shades that
this is Kaye's
my workstation
at home, and she's got a little gas stove next to her, so it's toasty
warm.
And up on top here, hope I'm not making anybody too dizzy, we've got all these little houses.
The Winfield houses.
The Winfield houses that were your mom's, right?
Nope, they were mine.
Oh, they were yours.
Yep, they were a collection that I got over the years. And many of you will recognize them. They were made and are very indicative of Glens Falls, the Glens Falls region. Mm-hmm. So there's the certain churches in the town. There's the Finch Prine building. And many of them are buildings that were or are still in the region. So. Okay,
and we see beautiful beams up here. And here's another lovely lampshade.
Yep, and I made this one actually.
Very pretty.
I made this one and that one.
I would love to do this.
Yes, it's really a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I have another little quilt over here. I like to sit here. This is an inviting little glider, and I like to sit here. And so this is a little project I made out of Civil War fabrics. And it's a Civil War quilt book, actually.
Very pretty.
I think it's something like Civil War Revisited or something like that. But that was a fun little project. A bunch of different types of sampler blocks.
Mm-hmm.
So
beautiful.
And then here we have a nice little glass end table that my mother had. And I like having the quilts displayed in the bottom there. And of course it's snowy time of year, so I have some of my snowmen out.
And she's got
some of the folks on
applique here.
Yep, little wool applique penny mat. Some of the folks on my one of my Facebook groups mentioned to me, "Oh, that's lovely, but don't you worry about the quilts fading in all these windows with the sun hitting them." My parents, when they actually built the house and when they added on to this sunroom, they had the highest end windows they could find with UV protectant installed. These are high-end Anderson windows, so the quilts don't fade. And my mother has had, of course, many quilts here over the years, and they've never faded.
Wonderful.
So it's a reassurance. So in case anybody's asking that.
Okay.
I have a pineapple quilt here that I made for Ray.
The way that's displaying on the camera here looks awesome.
Oh, good. Very good. Again, it's here because we have one cat who likes to claw the furniture. And this seems to work to keep him away.
But he does respect quilts because
Yes,
he
he
doesn't
does.
claw them. This is her glass. Whoops. Maybe if I go here, I won't get the windows
The glare.
reflection so much. But a glass top.
Yep. A
Coffee
glass
table.
top coffee table that was ours. And I love to display a quilt in it. And this quilt happened to be my mother's. And I thought it looked really pretty in here with the specific basket
Beautiful.
shown here.
Here's a pillow that Kay worked on at Guild one time. I remember her working
yes, we
on
did.
that.
I have two of those I made. This is a little quilt that my mom made. And then here is a piece of work of my Uncle Bob's.
Beautiful.
As you might remember, he does gold foil work as part of his American Historical Society work.
Beautiful, beautiful. I hope I'm not making anyone dizzy. I can't guarantee it. This is just a really cute, very simple quilt, but it's very pretty on the end of the sectional.
And here we have a quilt rack that my dad had made.
Beautiful.
And when we moved to this house, of course, we brought it down here. We had trouble finding the right space for it. I do like it here, although it blocks the windows, but it also blocks the clothesline in the back, so that's always good. And this particular quilt here I love. Mom gave me this quilt. It's one of the last quilts that she made, and it's from a primitive quilter. As you can see, the figures are somewhat primitive, and I just love the colors in it and the imperfections of it. I truly love. There's a Baltimore album quilt here behind. I'll flick this out. This is one of her many, many album quilts, hand
I
quilted.
was going to say, did she hand quilt this?
Yes, it is hand quilted, as you can see.
Beautiful. Very pretty. That is patience right there.
Yeah,
Doing all that.
all these little
Crisscross.
braids here.
Beautiful.
And then we have another piece down here that my Uncle Bob did. Just a little display case.
Cute.
With a little bob, and it happens to be in here, and who knows how that got in there.
And we can't forget the beautiful.
This is a stained glass window. This also has a little historical story to it. My mom was a kindergarten teacher for 33 years, God bless her soul. She taught up in the Chestertown Town Hall, it is now. It was the Chestertown School. And at one time, when they originally built it in 1940 something, it was a WPA type project. And they installed these stained glass windows in the doors of each classroom. Well, over the years of kids slamming the doors, the windows became wobbly and unsafe. So they were removing the windows and replacing them with clear glass. When they did that, my mother said to her friend, the janitor, "You know, Lester, I would love to have that in my house if it happened to appear in my car or anything." When she went out that day, it was in the back seat of her car.
Of
Nobody
course.
ever said a word.
Of course, Kathy
So
was,
they installed it in the house when they put on the sunroom here.
Kathy was persuasive.
Yes, absolutely.
This
Just a
little
few
tiny-
other little pieces here from our house.
Cute. Did you
And
stitch
then-
that, or your mom? Or?
Nope, nope.
Nope, just you had
This one here, my mother stitched and gave to me. And as you all know, she has dementia. But she came up to the house before we moved down here. She came up to the house one day last summer, and she was looking at it. And I had, for some reason, recently found this little dog. I was sorting through some things. It was not on the quilt. It was supposed to be on the quilt, but she had lost it. Well, so I found it, and I brought it to the house, and I put it on the quilt. Now my mother, who couldn't remember anything, came up to the house in one of her walks and she looked at this quilt and she said, "You put the dog in the wrong place." The dog was supposed to go here.
Man, Kay, what is the matter with you? I want you to take that off today and put it where it belongs.
So I thought that was really funny, but it's just so cute. There's all these little tiny things. Look at the little bees. She actually embroidered that little bee.
He's tiny.
All these little tiny pieces.
That little bee is about 1/4 of an inch wide, just to give you guys an idea of what.
Yes.
I love the little.
Here's another little bee.
Yeah.
The little geese.
The little tiny French knots.
Yeah, all of these. This is all embroidery. This is not printed on the fabric. These are embroidered.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So I do love this piece. It really is
That's
a beautiful.
The little, where the dog is supposed to be.
Where the dog is supposed to be.
All embroidery there.
These are all embroidered here.
This is printed.
That's printed.
That's printed on the fabric.
Yes. All embroidered here and all embroidered here. The little it's a little flower garden.
And then she's got her teeny tiny little hexagons.
Yep. She loves hexies. I do not care for hexagons. This statement really speaks to me. It's an Abraham Lincoln quote. "All that I am or hope to be, I owe it to my mother."
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
I miss my mother every single day. And it's hard having her in the nursing home. She's getting wonderful care at Fort Hudson, but of course we can't go see her.
Right.
And so I do try to speak with her, as often as possible, but sometimes she doesn't feel like it.
Right.
So it is what it is.
It is what it is. Now we're heading
into the bathroom. We're going into the other half of the house, bathroom and laundry room here.
I'm getting reflection. I wonder. Oh, there we go.
Can you actually see them?
I can.
Good.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, good. So these two shepherds I actually have featured.
Except you can see me too.
I spoke about these little shepherds when I had them up at our old house. And I posted that. It was one of the first posts on our YouTube channel. And so when we did the renovation of this room, I wanted to hang them here above the washer and dryer. So we picked the paint color to match the fabric that is in the background of these two pieces.
Now, how do you like that? You organize, or you plan your laundry room after some embroidery.
Yep. This piece here is one of my favorites, and this is a wool piece here. Just a lovely little mat. My mother made this, and I found it wadded up down in the basement.
Oh my gosh!
So I resurrected it. I had to do a little repair work on it because the mice liked it too. But here's another piece that my Uncle Bob did. This is reverse glass painting, as you might remember from his tour. Yeah. All of this is painted in reverse on the glass itself. That's so heaven amazing. Forbid the glass breaks. Wow. The picture is gone.
It's amazing to me how you even wrap your mind around painting.
Exactly.
Reverse,
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So onward into my bedroom.
There's a kitty under here.
We do have a little kitty cat.
There's
underneath
a lump under there.
I love to sit in this little slipper chair. Unfortunately, at the time, it is currently occupied. Hi, Ash Kitty.
My little Ash Kitty. She's like, cover me up and leave me alone.
Cover me up and leave me alone. Exactly.
And behind you, we have some other
Yes,
quilts.
we do. My mother made this and gave this to me. She had a series of quilts she was making for a period of time, and she gave me about 5 of them, I think, and I really enjoy them. This is a piece that my Uncle Bob did. It's called A True Lover's Knot, and it starts in one spot, and the wording goes all the way around the entire piece.
Wow.
So it's really kind of a fascinating little thing. So I think it starts here. A true lover's knot. To you, my dear, I send an emblem of my love without end. Crossing, I don't know what the rest of it says. Crossing something, oh, crossing, winding, turning round about, never ending, turning round all and out.
Wow.
And it goes on and on.
And on and on, yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So it's a nice sentiment too. So.
And I do want to point this out. Kay said we didn't have to, but I think it's pretty cool. Her son-in-law made this for her.
Yes, my dad had quite a collection of deer heads and deer antlers. And I'll turn on the light so hopefully you can see it a little bit better. I'm using it. It is a jewelry rack. So Dylan mounted the deer antlers. He had two that were a beautiful matching set. Turned them upside down, of course, and mounted them on here. Gave it to me for Christmas. And this is wood that my dad sawed out. So it's very meaningful. It's my dad's antlers and the wood that he sawed out. And Dylan made one for me and one for my daughter. And then he also made a hat rack for son Raymond, which he gave to him on Christmas morning, which caused a whole bunch of sobbing.
From everybody.
From everybody.
And another Teresa Brewer creation.
This is
Very
a beautiful pretty. Teresa Brewer lamp.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoy that one. And Paul has the whole base of it here that he has made. These are two quilts my mother made. This one here on the wall is an applique, hand applique and hand quilted.
Very pretty.
And then this here on my bed is one of her many Baltimore albums. She made a Baltimore album for each of the grandchildren. This one happens to be going to son Raymond. This was my favorite one that she ever made because of the colors in it. As you know, or as you can tell, I like these rich tones, the golds, the reds, the tans, the browns, and the greens.
Very, very
This
pretty.
block here is particularly special. This is the American flag, and it is flag fabric, but it is folded in such a way to make the circle with the eagle. And the eagle is many different parts and pieces to make his feathers. This is many different fabrics to make his feathers. And I'll tell you a little story about the center of it. When she made this, it was almost bright white. She wanted to have the bird fabric as the background. So she appliqued this down, and then she did the eagle and the flag, but it was bright white. So her solution to that was she took a wet tea bag and dabbed the tea bag all over it to do a little tea bag staining.
And was the blue already part of the fabric, though?
The blue was.
It was.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just a fun little fact about this particular quilt.
And over here we have another little wool applique, little angels. They're very pretty.
Here we have another quilt. This one is of my mother's. More Winfield houses here. And a spool chest.
Oh yeah, that's
the spool chest. We have them throughout the house. My mom collected them. I collected them. So I have several. She had several. And so I have them throughout the house and really enjoy them very much. And they're, mostly antique threads, as you can see. So they're not usable, but they do look pretty.
they do. And then we have a little
Another one. Yep, this one my mother made and gave to me. And I really enjoy it. I like the colors of it. Again, with all the things in the house, it really goes well with the coloration.
Now, when Kay and Ray moved down here, they did some renovation. This closet was not here.
No, it was
there's
not.
a closet in the room across the hall, which was Kathy's sewing room. And so they just reversed it. They opened up the wall and flipped the closet.
Into the closet.
Yep.
So this was the space, but this was a wall here. So we just reversed it.
And it looks like it's always been there.
Yeah, and it was actually in my bedroom. So going in here, this is now the sewing room.
And
Yay!
so this was the bedroom where you slept when you were growing up.
This is the bedroom where I slept when I was growing up. Yep.
All right.
So you'll have to do a whole
a pan here.
Panoramic here. You'll recollect this quilt. I made this quilt, and one of my favorites. This is an Irene Blank pattern, and we're going to be having Irene Blank. She is our featured speaker that we are sharing with 2 other guilds, as you will remember. I think is that March or May?
I think it's May.
April
or May.
April or May, yes. Also, my mom and I both have collected thimbles over the years. She had many more than I did. This particular display case was built by my Uncle Gene that I mentioned earlier, her brother, and he could build anything with wood. And so he made her this to display her thimbles.
And I'm looking at the fancy gold needle too.
And there's a gold needle. Yeah, it's an actual gold needle.
Wow.
On there. So I do have a pillow project.
Three-dimensional star
pillow. And just have to do my button.
And
that is being gifted to my best friend. Hopefully she will not see this video until I give it to her. And this is a quilt that both my mom and I worked on. Mom was nearing the end of her ability to really sew and put things together accurately. So I had to do a little reconstructing when she got it done because it really did not lay flat. So I really love it though, because we both worked on it together and we made it our own.
Very nice. And this is some of your mother's little tiny, teeny, tiny, itty bitty.
This is thread work. Every one of these, and they're all made with thread, actual, just regular thread. All of these are little tiny French knots. Thousands of them. Little teeny tiny French knots. I don't know if you can see up close enough, but she gave me these, so they're mine.
That one's sweet.
Isn't it sweet?
Wow.
I think she gave me this when we had one of the grandchildren.
Wow. What is this?
This is just a little painted display. It's a metal little display thing.
But Uncle Bob did not paint that.
No, Uncle Bob did not paint this particular one. Okay. Uncle Bob did make this particular case, which I really like a lot. He had given to me. And I use it. Of course, it's got a theorem on the inside. And it's a great little sewing case. I've got just a few little things in here. This particular case here is my needle case. So pretty. Like that.
She's got lots of needles.
Well, don't we all?
So, and this is a project Kaye's working on.
I'm working on this particular project. This is a fig and shirting project from the Fig Tree and Company. This is what the quilt will actually look like. And I've got, I'm doing a block a week is the challenge with this particular group. So I'm just doing a block a week. And as you can see, this is not really my colorway, but I'm enjoying it.
It's fun.
It's fun. Beautiful. It's very fun. It's not my usual style.
Light and bright.
Light and bright and fun.
Yeah.
So this quilt here, I just completed. You guys will recognize it. This is the spool quilt with the applique around it. And it is finally done. Let's see if I can.
It's quite large. I'm getting only part of it. Unless I step out into the hallway here. Hang on a second. I'm backing up. Let's not crash into anything. That would be so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then Kaye's doing actually machine applique on the border here. Are your arms breaking?
Nope.
But she's done a very fine job with that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the machine applique part of it. And this is ready to go off to Linda Denner to be quilted. And it will actually go in the hallway out here. I'll show you the wall I have reserved for it.
Okay. And
so there's that. Over here we have more thimbles.
More thimbles. Beautiful view out the front.
Yes. Yeah.
With the mountain right there.
This is, we do have a pretty beautiful view. We call this our mountain. We own up to the top of the mountain here.
Very nice.
This is another project I'm working on. This is all machine applique. And this is an Irene blank project that I put my own spin on with the various fabrics.
I like the star is fun. That's fun.
Aren't they
fabric to
fun?
pick too, yeah. Very nice.
So I'm enjoying that project, and they all go together. And
I think I have one block of
Irene Blank's done.
Yes. And that's probably all I will ever do. Don't tell her.
I do have some other quilts displayed here. This is actually a flannel wall, so you can use it as your design wall. I have a few things pinned up on it to show you guys. This is the last quilt that my mom ever really completed on her own. I helped her figure out how to do the blocks, and then my Uncle Bob actually put them all together for her using the green fabric.
Nice.
But she did all the applique, and it was when my dad was in the hospital and also in the nursing home, having had open heart surgery 2 years ago.
Okay.
So it's really, really fantastic, and I told her, I'm sorry, but that one has to be mine. I just love it. This is an Irene blank pattern. These here all were made when my mom and I would go to the Applique Academy. I made this one.
I love that one. That's really pretty.
I love the colors
Yeah.
of it. And then I also made
did
this
Linda
one.
quilt that, or did
Linda quilted
Very
both
nice.
of these. Yes.
I like the swirlies.
Yes.
Those are fun.
Yep, gorgeous, gorgeous quilting on these. And actually, maybe I'll turn the light on here. And these roses are all individual little tiny pieces. I mean, this piece here is probably about 1/4 of an inch long. There's little tiny pieces here. And it was a lot of fun to pick them out to make the rose really be vibrant. And this was in another class, so I combined them to make that.
Very nice.
This actually was a machine applique class that I took. And this is with Sharon Chamber, who is a very famous quilt artist. This one here, both my mother and I made one of these blocks. This happens to be my mother's. And you can see the bumblebees up on there also, and around the beehive. Yeah, yeah. This purple quilt over here with the little bird on the nest. I don't know if you can get that or not. If you can zoom in also.
Yep.
This happens to be probably one of my most favorite quilts that I have ever made. They're the little stuffed balls that are the very center of each of those yellow flowers.
Those are fun.
With the little embroidered stamens.
Mm-hmm.
All of the little details on here are embroidered, and all of the little sticks and things sticking out from the nest are all embroidered as well. And there's also some moss on the various twigs, and that's all embroidered as well.
There's some moss sitting there, yep. Beautiful.
Yeah, so I enjoy that very much.
I like the texture of the trees, the batik.
Yes.
Yeah, the leaves.
Yeah, surrounding it. Also quilted, machine quilted and hand quilted. I did a little bit of hand quilting on that, and then Linda also machine quilted it.
Beautiful.
A little piece here that my Uncle Bob did.
Mm-hmm.
Little metal piece. And then a few various little needle cases and sewing cases. One that I made, one my mom made here. Another one here that my mom made for me. So we have a variety of sewing
and it's
cases
10:53
and implements.
On February 15th.
Yes, it is.
We're documenting it.
Yes, we are.
And this is poor Kaye, doesn't have any fabric.
I know, it's a sad situation.
It's a sad
situation.
So this is where the closet was, that is now on the
Yes.
opposite side of the wall.
Yes, it is. Yep.
So beautiful, beautiful.
It's fun. It's also a funny little thing. These two little pieces here, they're little tiny mementos that are actually back in their original places from when I was a child.
Okay.
They are mine, and my aunt gave me these, and my mother had this one from when I was a baby. It was given to her. It's a Hummel piece. And they hung here as a child. Of course, I took them with me. They've lived in several houses with me. And then we moved back here And where else would I put them? Right back where they were.
Right back where they were. And we've got a little applique heart here.
Yeah, the little wool applique here.
Little buttons. Oh, those are pins, aren't they?
These are pins.
Yep.
Yeah, these
I
are
remember
long,
I got
long
some
pins.
of those that you gifted to me.
They're fun. So out here in the hallway, we have another piece. I like this piece. It's very primitive. There's something about it that I like. It just speaks to me. So that it fits nicely here in this space. This wall here is reserved for the spool quilt. So that's where that's
It's a
going.
good sized one.
Down here in this hallway, we have a couple more pieces. This one my mom made and gave to me. Just a simple little piece.
Yep.
She was on her little mission of making a quilt. I think it was a quilt a month or something. This one here I made and really enjoyed. I did that braid border thing. I haven't done it a lot since, but I remember how much it's very effective and it's a lot of fun. I really love pieced quilts with applique.
Right.
I love the combination of piecing and applique together. That just speaks to me.
Nice.
So, and this I hand quilted this particular piece.
Very nice.
So,
look at that. There's your little tiny stitches.
I don't want to overlook the bathroom because heaven
yes.
forbid we not have a quilt in the
You're
bathroom.
going to be so dizzy by the time I finish.
So I have this piece here. I actually taught this in a class. And so I have this quilt and my mother took the class. And so she made this particular one in this colorway.
Where did you take this class? Or teach it?
I taught it at Northern Lights.
Oh, cool.
Yep, a number of years ago.
It must have been pre.
This is clay.
It's pretty though.
And it's actual plants and flowers embedded in the clay. We've never seen this artist since. I bought this piece
a different angle on
at and crafts show down in Saratoga at the Flat Track of all places.
Pretty.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah, it is.
It's actual clay work with
texture.
Yep.
She's got this lovely scalpy mirror. Hi.
And then we have
Tita's going to say, "Jill, get off there."
This is another one of my favorite pieces. It was a variety of several different classes. We put all of
the
the
center of the flowers.
Yeah,
Oh, there's another bumblebee.
there. I made this one. I'm happy to say I'm very
He's a
proud
cute
of
little
him.
guy.
He's a cute little guy.
Yeah.
And then of course I hand quilted it. It is hand quilted and a lot of little embroidery that I did. I do love to embroider. I find that just really satisfying.
Very pretty. Pretty.
And I made the dragonfly too. We had a whole class in how to do that. Yeah. That is not fabric. That is actual stitched thread by thread by thread.
Wow. I like the also the little swirly tendrils from the plant. That's pretty.
Yep.
Very pretty.
And then we have in here, in my husband's bedroom, we don't sleep in the same room because he twitches and snores, just for the record. This quilt here, this is another Irene Blank quilt. And I'll show this. This my mother made.
Very cute.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, I like the diamonds around it too. That's fun.
This is a quilt that I actually have some of the blocks started. So at some point I will probably, I'll get them completed eventually.
Now, what are these little guys here?
These are Toby mugs in miniature.
Oh.
My Uncle Bob has them in full size. In full size, they're generally 7 or 8 inches. And these Ray's mother had. Ray's mom and my Uncle Bob were best friends.
Oh.
And so she had them in miniature, and they are of true historical figures.
Wow.
So, for example, this particular one is Long John Silver.
Oh.
This one here is Moll Flanders. This one here is Ivanhoe. They're just really interesting. King Arthur. Let's see who she's kind of a sad looking woman. That's Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
She's just confused.
Yes. Then we have down here the Mad Hatter.
Okay.
So they're just, they're fun little pieces. Oh, here's Sherlock Holmes.
There he is. Is this Paul Revere?
I believe it is Paul Revere.
I can't read it.
It
It's too
is
small for me.
Hornblower.
Hornblower.
Oh, that's he's the ship's captain, Hornblower.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep. Who's this grumpy guy? Let's see this
Don't
grumpy
break
guy.
him. Good thing you have a chair underneath.
Yes, he's Scrooge, of course.
Oh.
That's Scrooge. So,
Okay.
yep, literary characters primarily. So,
Okay.
and then in here, just you know, I didn't want to make it too
Feminine.
in here. So Ray really likes this quilt, and it goes well in his room.
Yep. And another Teresa Brewer light.
Yes, another little Teresa Brewer light.
And I assume the sconce.
And
ones
these are also, yes.
Yeah, you can see the design without turning them on. You don't have to.
Yep.
Pretty.
And then we have another little kitty hiding back here.
Oh, kitty cats.
This is
Cats are us.
Button, as in cute as a button.
Oh, he's like, I'm not going to cooperate. Look, I got you on film anyway. Hi, Button.
We also have the night lights.
Yeah.
Teresa Brewer night lights.
Very nice. Wonderful.
And
Oops,
last but not least in this room is this is a invoice
We're getting.
from Smith's Garage. Would it help if I turned the light
No,
off?
it's the light from the window. You can see the window.
Would that help?
No.
So this is an invoice from Smith's Garage, which was Ray's family garage, Smith's Garage.
1944.
In 1944, Gene Flackbarth, who was my grandfather, had repair work done to the tune of $36.25.
Oh my gosh.
It was $2.35 for a tailpipe. And
Wow.
yeah, it was just really interesting. So he had a whole bunch of work done. 5.5 hours of labor cost $6.90.
Oh my gosh.
And eventually the total bill was $44.55. And you could see where he made several payments. Eventually he had a $9.55 balance, and it was paid on 11/21/44. Smith's Garage, Florida, F.S. Smith, Florida Smith. And that was Ray's grandmother.
Wow.
So she gave the receipt to my grandfather. So
That's
we thought that was really cool and had it framed.
very nice.
So, yep.
All right then. I think we're back out to
We're back out to
Out
the
to
back of.
to the rock wall, and
Yep. Yeah, we sure are.
another three-dimensional star pillow.
Yes. Yes. We also have this. Oh, this I didn't point out. I'll show you
Oh yes.
here.
Throw my
This
stuff
is this here is a bench. It's a storage bench.
Mm-hmm.
A beautiful wooden bench that my parents had, and so we use it to store all of the stuff for the summer. Basically, you know, your pool stuff and so on.
1995. At first I thought it said 1795.
I think it's an antique, but it was repainted and redone, I'm sure. So I don't know if you can see any of the front of it or not.
Yes, you can.
I'll see if I can turn on the light too.
No, actually it's good, Kay. Was
it good?
Light coming
Or
in.
is that any better?
No, it's about the same.
Okay.
Well, maybe a little bit brighter. Let me go over to this other side. They're all gonna have to close their eyes when I'm moving, so they don't throw up. And we wanted that on recording, didn't we? Very beautiful.
And very, very last, but definitely not least, two things I want to point out here. One is the wool applique workshop that we just did at Northern Lights, and that's mine, all finished and hung here. And I really enjoyed that piece. And the very last thing is, this is a picture of my parents. This is Joe and Kathy Tennyson.
Very nice. Right at the front entryway.
Right at the front entryway to greet you. Yep. So.
And baby toys.
Oh yes, all the baby toys. Yep.
Very nice.
So.
Beautiful.
So we're very, very blessed. We're very fortunate to live here. We're very thankful every day we get up and basically give thanks that we're able to live here and enjoy this home. And I hope you've all enjoyed seeing some of the quilts and a few of the other art display type things in the home, and have enjoyed a little bit of a tour of the house. So I wish you well, and happy Valentine's Day, a day late. I hope you have a safe and wonderful rest of the winter. Take care.
Happy President's Day too.
Yes, happy President's Day.
Bye.
Bye.